Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Breath of Fire 1, where last time, myself, Nick of the Light Dragons, found my town burned mostly to the ground by the enemy Dark Dragons, who seem to be running across the country, just ruining everything for everybody. Like, I have in a nearby castle where monsters had been released by the Dark Dragons for some reason. And I have evicted them. Now, the only thing I'd like to talk about really is like the battle system. We'll probably get into that once we actually find some fights, because I believe I've cleared this place out, despite the fact that there are still a whole bunch of skeletons on the floor. So the kingdom, once they get around to it, they're going to have to clean up a lot of skeletons. Nick can't break the wall. Oh, all right. I did not realize that was a feature. I suppose now is as good of a time to talk about the battle system as any, as I'm heading out the front door via the maze that I came in with, and there is still no run button. Like, this game starts you off as just one character by themselves, and your character only has one attack. Like, I feel as though the developers of the game realized the redundancy and the capacity of the need for grinding in this game, while at the same time just the repetitiveness of the gameplay, which is why this has, which is why auto battle is a feature. Let's drink of the clean water, heal ourselves up to full, because we did level up a couple times after the final boss of this dungeon. But yeah, like the fact that you spend so much time having no options besides just attack or use item. Or run, I suppose. Why hello, it is I, the Savior. You defeated the monsters. You're not a false hero. Who are you? That scar, it looks familiar. What a shocker! The Dark Dragons must have the Quake Control. There is a hidden palace in the Nanai dungeon. Find the Quake Control. Please go there and put an end to these quakes. Wait, do I have to go back? Let's sneak into Nanai tonight when the enemy forces are resting. Oh, never mind, that's a different location. The Quake Control can cause quakes anywhere if it falls into evil hands. There is a hidden palace in the Nanai dungeon. Please go there and put an end to these quakes. Is this Nanai? Did you feel that? The ground shook. We've never had earthquakes before. Our hometown, Nanai, has been occupied. Okay, thank you. This place that I'm in right now is Nanai. That's good to know. But let's also give ourselves an in-game save. I've also been using the save states that the Switch has, but, you know, a little extra backup never hurt anybody. And I don't think they have any existing shops, although this house looks like... Nope, it is not open for business. Alright, I guess let's go back into the dungeon. Like, maybe it's one of those areas that had the recessed on the wall. I'm just going to cut to that. Okay, so apparently the dialogue is just a little bit confusing at the very least for myself. It comes across that I'm in Nanai, but actually that's a different location. So let us fight our way back to the beginning so that we could buy some more herbs. And also some antidotes. Maybe like 5 antidotes. Probably sounds like a good number. 1 is clearly too few. 9 is probably too many. It also depends on the price. But I actually have a decent amount of money now. So I'm just going to quickly get some more herbs and some antidotes before I return to the quest. So let us go talk to the item shop in the upper left-hand corner here. Hello, item shop person. Only these items remain. Let us buy 9 and another 9. And yeah, that's 10 antidotes. I'm also not going to worry about buying the thing that prevents monsters from attacking you while you're going somewhere, because I figure if I'm getting some degree of experience points and some degree of money, that's going to save me time down the road. If I start avoiding fights, that means I'm getting less experience, less gold, which might lead to an increased amount of grinding when I need to get to where I'm going. But in theory, it's hard. It's because, like, these guys are going to be dropping less gold and less experience. And in theory, the people in the monsters in the next town where I'm expected to be doing fighting will be dropping more gold and more experience. So by fighting just them, I would in theory be leveling up faster, whereas these guys, it's just safer to fight. Because they're not going to be doing as much damage, but they still have a minimum amount of damage that they deal out. But it's not exactly like they occupy quite as much time as they did before. And that's one of the things that really dragged out grinding early on, is that it would take multiple hits to defeat every individual guy, which meant that, like, let's say I encounter a group of 3 bad guys, and it takes 2 hits per bad guy to defeat them. That means, at minimum, a single fight has to go for 6 rounds. So you're occupying every fight with a group of 3 bad guys with 6 rounds of your attacks, plus they get 3 attacks for this first 2 rounds, 2 attacks for the next 2 rounds, 1 attack for the last 2. And that just really drags it out. It definitely makes you feel the grind. Which is one of the reasons why I feel like I made a mistake buying armor first instead of saving up for a better weapon. Oh, what are you? See, slimes give you no experience. They only give you like 1 experience per, but they actually do give you a pretty decent amount of money, considering, yeah, they give you like 11 GP for fighting just 3 of them. Huh. I'm probably going to have to remember that. Will I remember that? I hope so. But yeah, as you're just going through the grind, you have very little to do, especially when it comes to a strategy. And I wonder if this is the Nanai dungeon that I'm looking for. Or somewhere in this nearby city. Why, hello, sleeping man. Are you going to provide any sort of greeting? You're just going to be passed out at the front door. Are these the dark dragons? Halt, intruders! Who goes there? Huh. Interesting. Okay, so the inn is unavailable to me at the moment. Open the chest. You take S potion. What does S potion do? Your strength will increase. All right. Nick's strength is up by 1. Is there a sort button? Oof, not really. Like I can manually sort everything? Okay, so this looks like it is a stealth mission. And aside from the sleeping man, I can only get so close to them before I get spotted. So that guy's a no-go. That guy's asleep. You take 150 gold points. You take another 150. You're just robbing them blind. You're taking all of their money. The glory of the old school RPG. Just take everything that isn't nailed down. What's the disorder for that called? There's a specific name for like people who just can't stop. Can I get... Okay, excellent. I was wondering if, like, how close I was able to get in while in their line of sight. You know, you gotta give these guards breaks. Swap them out for fresh personnel if you're... I probably can't go that way. Yeah, I probably can't just walk right into the castle entrance. That seems to be a little bit blocked off, but that's okay. I'm sure we can find an alternate way in. Can I get new weapons? Ah, son of a... I was... Okay, I'm just going to cut back to the weapon shop. Alright. What do you have for sale? Welcome to Weapon Shop. Not the Weapon Shop. Welcome to Weapon Shop. Oh my gosh, that is expensive. Okay, but it definitely improves... Do I want to worry about grinding for money now? Especially since I'll be grinding against similar types of enemies. I might have to hold back. Oh, Okay, cut back to Weapon Shop. Alright, so that house is probably too close to the guard. Which means... like, if there isn't a hidden entrance here... Huh. I suppose I can keep looking elsewhere on the overworld map. That man's asleep. Maybe there's a reason why that person is asleep over there. Like, I can actually get closer. Excellent. Alright. Actually, hold on. Can I go in through this front door, or is it locked? Never mind. It is not locked. Whoever decorates these rooms, like, we're gonna put 3 beds. 2 beds are gonna be towards the back against the wall, and then there's just gonna be 1 bed by itself, a little bit off to the left. And here, we're gonna have a pot, a sink, 1 torch, but no chairs or tables. You're just gonna have to eat while standing up. It seems like everybody has evacuated this area, which probably just means that I just have the dungeon itself to go through. How is our health looking, by the way? 41 out of 55. That ain't bad. Oh my. All right, let's try going towards the right first. Ah. Some more gloom. Okay, this is good. This is good. It's always good to get to go to a dead end first. And also, it's good to know that the enemies haven't necessarily increased in difficulty in between the last castle and now, because that essentially means I don't necessarily have to worry about grinding for experience, grinding for money, grinding for more weapons. And since we were smart enough to actually buy some antidotes, we can actually use some. We've got 12 antidotes. So unless things go really bad and we get only encounters with that specific kind of enemy. Ooh. A lot of beaks in one fight. That's fine, because I believe beaks give you the most experience out of any of these monsters. And that might increase the chances that we'll actually level up while we're down here. Okay, that is progress. We want to progress last. I appreciate that we have a separate background for fighting on rope bridges. That is always nice when you get little details like that. You take beast. What is beast? You can use this item during a battle. Wow. That is such an amazing description. I mean, I suppose this means I'm going to not try it outside of battle, there's that, but hey. Now, the issue with that, though, is, like, when do I experiment with that item to figure out whether or not it is useful to me? Do these guys have an attack besides poison? It seems really inconvenient. The monster left an herb. Alright. You take 650 gold points. Big money. Big prizes. I love it. Still, this is a neat area in comparison to the previous dungeon. Like, more or less just a sprite swap for its background. Ah, just one. Doesn't stand a chance. But otherwise, it definitely makes it feel very different in comparison. Yeah, the next area was up through here, across the rope bridges, and then downstairs. And then I'll probably have to heal after this fight. Oh, never mind, unless they keep missing. So it's probably a good idea to heal after this fight. But since when have I been someone who did good ideas? I would imagine it's probably not a good idea to attempt to let's play a very grindy role-playing game on your YouTube channel, but here I am nonetheless. This looks almost identical to where I just was. Almost. But with very subtle differences in shape. Music, I gotta say, isn't necessarily that bad. It's very repetitive. Arm pad I'm already wearing, but it's all right. It's much more active than I think you would expect the music that occupies space during... Oh, maybe I shouldn't have auto-battled. I was thinking of attacking the Gloom first. But it appears that Gloom doesn't really do anything special, so let us heal up. I don't know why I'm being stingy with heals, because I've got 34 of them. But yeah, I'm sure there's certain expectation you would have out of music that takes place in a hot environment, in a hot lava underground environment. And this has a lot more energy to it. Ah. So I could have very easily died during that other fight, due to the gloom. That is what I get for being lucky. Otherwise, I would have died very easily from not being careful. Alright, so we want to keep our health above, let's say, 20? Oh, Efston. I got an Efston to add to my collection of things that I could use in fights. If you know what an Efston or a Beeston does, just leave it down in the comments below. You take Cure. Alright. I believe that's just a heavier, like, Cure implies that it cures, like it removes afflictions. It does not necessarily imply that it is just a stronger health item. Okay, so now we've at least introduced a little bit of tactics into this game that has mostly been relatively mindless. The idea of defeating enemies in a specific order to avoid certain enemies' attacks over other enemies' attacks. And actually, this looks like a fight is coming up. So I'm going to top myself off now. Save my game. Alright. And then proceed, because this looks like a place where a boss fight happens. Like against this fellow. Who are you? Who disturbs my privacy? I'm taking over the world with this machine, and no one can stop me. Actually, do I have any, You can't use this special power. Okay. Oh my. Just a tiny fragment. And one hit from that does 20. Alright. So yeah, we want to make sure our health is always above, let's say, 22? Just because of his abilities with magic. But we've got tons of health items. We should be able to eke out a victory here. We'll definitely have to restock after this fight. But I don't think I need to be particularly worried. Ooh, and he missed. I approve of that. You know, when your extreme hit just very barely does much more damage than your regular attack. Like, this guy is clearly on the tougher side. Alright. Heal again. You know what this RPG is missing so far? Party members. I know you get them eventually, but it's kind of interesting that you spend so much time by yourself. Like, especially after you consider the fact that, like, Final Fantasy, like, begins you with a full squad in its first game. Like, Breath of Fire 2 starts you off with 2 people. And then you very soon get a third. Alright, heal again. Interesting how he only used light. I was gonna say how he only used Thunderbolt once so far. But he's underneath half health, so he's slowly making his way down. Alright, heal again because Thunderbolt knocked down most of our health quickly with that round. Oof. Such tiny increments of damage, but just enough. Recover? Oh. What a jerk. The fact that they can heal themselves and have second winds to keep themselves from death. That is no good. Cover again? Sir. Sir Knight, I'm gonna have to talk to you about this. About your capacity to recover from my attacks. Like, you're just stretching forth the inevitable. Unless, of course, you're supposed to lose this fight, in which case I'm using all of these herbs for nothing. Which would be a huge load. All right. I appreciate any and all free hits I get. He's not recovering. Maybe he had a limit of like 3 recovers. And 4 second wins. $14 damage on that hit. Yeesh. Yeah, if I didn't bring all of my herbs with me. And if an herb didn't fill up my entire health bar, I would be screwed. There we go. Arr! Oh, nope, he's still good. He's still good. Ah. All right, another herb. Knight, this is where you fall. Have you not read the script? Like, there's clearly such a tiny sliver of health that is not being accurately represented, but finally, jeez Christ. Nick reaches level 9! Gains a bunch of points and stuff. Fantastic. How could this be? I've been defeated. The machine is generating a strange noise. You find a key. Will you take it? Yes. Nick pulled the key from the machine. Nick hears a strange voice. Run while you can, for I am returning. Oh my. Did I just destroy that town? As we suspected, the device within the palace was causing the quakes. Let's go, Nick. The king is waiting for us. Oh, okay. You gave up Nanai to destroy the forces of the Dark Dragons. It was a tough choice to make, but results show that you're a true hero. You were wise to sacrifice this town without knowing you were doing that. Alright. Travel east to Winland. There you'll find a cave to another kingdom. Alright. I wish you could stay, but I know destiny leads you elsewhere. Good luck, warrior. Thank you, you saved our kingdom. Please come back safe, warrior. Our confidence is in you, warrior. You must stay here and rebuild. All right. I think I'm going to stop here for the night, and by that, I mean I'm going to go back. Ah, I can't buy that more expensive sword. I'm going to go restock on herbs. And then I'm going to go back to the ruined city of Nanai and really stop there and reload from there. But for now, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.